A full jury, including 6 alternates, has finally been seated for the New York criminal trial against former President Donald Trump. His request to have a change of venue was denied for a second time, and this ruling, plus the completion of jury selection, means opening statements could start as soon as Monday. Meanwhile, outside the courthouse, a man was rushed to the hospital after setting himself on fire. CBS News correspondent Jericka Duncan has more on that, and a warning: some of the images and details in this story are disturbing.
It was a shocking image, too graphic to be shown in full detail, in the middle of a New York City park this afternoon, of a man on fire. It happened right outside the courthouse where former President Donald Trump's criminal trial was underway.
A man has now lit himself on fire outside of the courthouse in Manhattan, where we are waiting.
The incident unfolding live on cable news just after 1:30 Eastern.
And we're like yelling to the cops who are all outside of the park.
I don't know if he was really political or just unbalanced.
Authorities confirm 37-year-old Maxwell Azzarello is from St. Augustine, Florida. Tonight, officials say he is intubated and in critical condition.
He throws the pamphlets throughout the park, and then he pulls out a canister and pours some kind of liquid on himself. Court officers, members of the police department, they run into the park. They make efforts to put him out.
How concerned are you that somebody was able to get this far in, light themselves on fire, that with all of these law enforcement officials around?
We're very concerned. Of course, we're going to review our security protocols.
Azzarello posted what he called the Ponzi papers online, critical of both Republicans and Democrats, claiming, quote, "We are victims of a totalitarian con that is about to hit us with an apocalyptic fascist world coup."
This gentleman did not breach the security protocols. The park was open to the public.
And Jericka joins us now from outside of the courthouse. So tell us what else police are working on to try and uncover about this person.
Well, obviously the motive, Lana, but they also want to make sure that this area is safe for reporters, for the public. As you heard, this was a park that was open to the public, but there was an area that was set aside for demonstrators. So they are now thinking about actually shutting it down to make sure that there aren't as many safety concerns as there naturally already are when you're dealing with a trial involving a former president of the United States.
All right, Jericka, thank you. And for more on the trial of Donald Trump and what comes next, I'm going to bring in CBS News Chief Election and Campaign Correspondent Robert Costa from Washington. So, Bob, there have been a lot of new developments. Bring us up to speed about where things stand.
So the jury is set. You have a dozen people in New York City ready to serve as the jury on this trial. You also have the 6 alternate jurors finalized today in Lower Manhattan. I was inside the court today as that process played out, and the horrific scene also unfolded. Jericka so ably covered that for CBS News. What we're seeing now is a judge, and New York Judge Juan Merchan, who wants to move very quickly. And you can expect on Monday opening statements to begin, and perhaps the prosecution calls its first witness. So this is a fast-moving trial at this point.
But before we go any further, just remind our audience about the importance of these alternates, especially given what we saw leading up to today.
We saw a lot of back and forth, and sometimes some emotions ran high inside the Manhattan court as potential jurors were cycled through. Some people even got emotional, crying at times about the anxiety of the process of being a potential juror in such a high-stakes, high-profile case. The Trump legal team very frustrated with how this jury selection has played out. And in fact, late Friday, the Trump legal team went to an appeals court judge and asked the case to be halted and for the venue to be changed away from New York, toss it out of New York City. That request was denied. So the trial continues in New York next week.
Given that that request was denied, how much of a setback is that for the Trump legal team?
It's not much of a setback. It's a denial of their request. There was no, I think, high expectation. And there's also a belief among sources close to the Trump legal team that ultimately the jury selection process could be cited by them down the line if Trump is convicted and they want to push for a mistrial or have further motions, though the judge in this case, Juan Merchan, has said he's sick and tired of the Trump legal team issuing motion after motion in this case.
So what should we expect then on Monday?
The prosecution has been unusually coy about who it's going to call as its first witness, in part because they're frustrated with former President Donald Trump. They believe if they reveal the name of the first witness, he will in some way amplify it on social media and potentially rattle the witness and intimidate the witness in the view of the prosecution. So they have not released that name. We do know Michael Cohen, Trump's longtime lawyer and former fixer, Stormy Daniels, the adult film star. These are people who are likely to be called as witnesses, along with Hope Hicks and others in Trump's orbit from that 2016 campaign.
All right, Robert Costa in Washington. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.